Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jessica's Music Talk Pod. And today is the first day of our special edition of Music and More. So, this edition is special because for Music and More, I interview people who have something in common with the music, but who are not the musicians themselves. But they have places or organizations, or they do professionally something that is related with music. And yes, and this edition, it's not released every week. It's just like it. That's why it's a special edition. It's just when it happens, and when it's released, it's always released on a Sunday. So for this special episode, I wanted to invite somebody from a place that is very, very special for me in Luxembourg, for me and for other musicians too, because it's also like a meeting pot for all the musicians. There is always music happening over there. I met the most musicians I know in Luxembourg. I met them at that place. I organized a lot of jam sessions also in that place, and it's an honor for me to receive David Rocas from the ROCAS Bar. How are
Hello,
you, David?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I'm so grateful that you accepted my invitation. I am so honored to speak about your place, because your place has such an impact for the musicians in Luxembourg and for the music world in Luxembourg in general. And I really wanted to speak about the history of the Rockers Bar and
Long story.
the role it plays in the music, and also for the musicians, and all the things that you also organize at your place. And yes, and I really wanted for all the people who don't know this place, I really wanted to make this place famous for all the people. I hope the mission will be accomplished. um, and to start, let's start with the history of the Rockers Bar. So, how did everything begin for you and this place?
Well, the story goes back to 2009. Initially, my brother had an idea and he said, David, let's open a bar together. And like, he's an architect and I was working as a film technician. We had nothing to do with bars. And okay, why not? Let's do that. And so we went together to get a license. We went together to school, learn bar licensing. In Luxembourg, we call it Saapschool. And at the same time, we were also at the theater school of Luxembourg, the Conservatoire, and we were having theater lessons. And we were meeting a lot of young comedians there, and we tried to combine the two things. So we decided to open a café théâtre. So and then that's how it started. I mean, in November 2009, we opened, and every month we had a different theater piece happening, and then concerts started as well, and then DJ started, and readings and so on. A lot of different cultural events started. We had exhibition shows as well. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay,
It
so
is still fun.
yes, it is. Of course, it is. I think the ROCAS bar is one of the places when I go to Luxembourg, I go there even if it's just to have a drink. But
Thank you.
it's like when it's like coming back home for me, you know, like for sure. And so if I understood at the start, it was not directly thought for the music. It was more for the acting, but for theater and for the acting, and then you decided music had to happen too.
Our so the bar is called Rocas. It's our family name of my brother and me, but our company name is called Culture Cafe. So
Okay.
in the beginning, it was all sorts of culture. Just well, the first couple of months, we had theater shows, and I think the first concert only happened at the third month. So you can't say we didn't want to do music. So we opened in November, and in February was the first concert.
Okay. And who was the
Maybe back
first?
then we had less contacts in music than in theater.
Okay. So, and when who was the first to play at the Rockers Bar?
The most famous Luxembourgish band. There was three bands. I can't really remember the two other names, but the Barcodes were there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they
Louis
still
and all
exist.
the
Yeah.
people. Yeah, they are great. I love them. They are so cool. So you started with hard, so not hard rock and roll, but this punk rock and roll stuff that is really
Stoner
nice.
Rock, wasn't it? Stoner Rock.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, the barcodes. Yeah, perhaps they have I always when I went to see them, I had this feeling like punk rock, you know. They also use like this surf sounds a little bit for, you know, the surf guitar
Now we're talking about 15
sound.
years. Within 15 years, they probably changed styles several times.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I and
There's also
so
other bands like the Kitschikers. They
yeah,
every now and then they have a different music style.
they are so great too. My God, I am
Mm.
a real fan of these guys.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Because Kitschikers, when you listen to them, it's like you enter into a travel and you travel, you
That's
know,
what they want.
without drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are very, very good too. So from this day on, you started to have music more often, and then you also decided, sorry, to start with jam sessions. I know
Hmm.
that the Rockers is really famous for your jam sessions, and
Thank you. Mm.
a lot of musicians met at the jam sessions, and from there some projects were born too. You
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Yeah.
So who are still the guys that are organizing the jam sessions at Rocas and playing at the time when I organized it with Katya.
Hmm.
And you had also Yaka organizing sometimes. You had Fred Barreto. And I think Nadia also organized some jam sessions at your
That's true.
place.
It
Yeah,
was called the
Pranga.
Nadjam. Nadjam.
Yes,
Nadjam.
Nadia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also had the drummer from the Le Vibe. You know, this guy with
Max
the
Dorsche.
glasses. Yes, I
Yes.
think he organized it too.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people, a lot of great musicians, or Kid Calling organized too, I think.
True. Um, I think he organized once, maybe or twice. Kid Colin. Unfortunately, he lives far away, so he always has like an hour to drive home. So an hour to come,
Hey,
an hour to drive home. I know he did more. He did more than that, yeah. But it's 2 hours of driving, so I understood that it would be it would be less and less with him. Also, he became father, and etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have different hosts, and as you said, there's Max Tuscher, Fred Barreto. He's going to be hosting next week, by the way. We have Pete Huberti. He's hosting
Oh
this
yeah.
week. It's pretty cool what he does. I got a list right here. There's Ethan Carey, great musician. Danny Menezes, do you know him?
It's a Brazilian guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
talented.
good.
Yeah, and he
He's really
surrounds
good.
himself by very good musicians as well. So
And I think he said that he also lived in Lisbon for a moment
yeah,
before he went to Luxembourg.
mm-hmm.
And he already organized here some stuff too in Lisbon too. So
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool.
he's good. He's really good. He's
Yeah,
a cool guy.
yeah, and I see he's trying to bring more and more people from Portugal or from Brazil. Danny organized a few weeks ago, and he invited a drummer from Salvador de Bahia. Crazy! Everybody just went nuts listening to that drummer. Just says he was amazing.
They have the
But
rhythm
yeah,
in the blood.
yeah, but
Really?
especially in Salvador de Bahia,
Yeah.
that's the town for drummers. Jacke has organized another jam a month ago. He didn't organize jams for years and years, but meanwhile, he was one of the first ones organizing it. He was there since the beginning. So I
When
think,
he still had long hair.
yes, yes, true. Yeah, now he's got short hair. Everybody does. I gotta cut mine, by the way. I just saw this afternoon. I saw my hairdresser. Like, I gotta come. I gotta come see you. And like, yes, yes, David, come.
Like it's a disaster. No.
I don't know. It's gray. Did you see? Have you ever seen all this gray hair now?
I always say gray hair,
A
it's
beard,
wisdom. It means when you have gray hair, it means that you have more wisdom too.
maybe.
Because you already lived so many things in your life that made you wiser for sure. So we always have to see the
Yeah,
positive part of the cup. You know?
that's a positive way of saying you're getting old.
No, no, but we are all getting old. We
Mhm.
are. This is something that we cannot escape from. So people don't have people have to accept it, because even if they don't accept it, they will not stop to get old.
Yeah,
So it's better to live good with it. And yes, and you since I know you, you were always, and you are still very young in your mind, and also your personality, and you are very rock and roll. So and
thank
all
you.
the people with who you have to work
There's some
is
people that call me a punk. I
really,
don't listen to punk, but they call me a punk.
really. I never associated you with punk music,
Uh,
but yeah, why not?
the guy said, David, you're a true punk. They meant in a good way, actually.
You see, if I had to associate you to another music style than rock and roll, it would be electronic music,
You do a
uh,
lot as well, yeah? Mm.
but not with punk. But yeah, why not?
I think he meant the punk attitude instead, and not the punk.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's possible. Yeah, yeah,
maybe.
that's possible. But you are a person with a lot of patience, because you know, when you work at the bar, or you are the owner at the bar, like the Rockers Bar, with so many rockers and musicians and people who like to party. you really have to be very patient sometimes with the drunk people. And
As long as they behave.
yeah, and that's the gray hair that comes from there.
I think so too.
But I am happy to see every time I go to Luxembourg. I am happy to see that this place is still alive and it will continue to be alive. I cannot imagine even that the Rocas Bar doesn't exist anymore one day. Because like you said, also you do a lot for the culture, for the art. You have also special evenings like the Happy Mondays,
Yeah,
that exist since a long time already.
yeah, but it's different
Uh,
now.
Really? So,
Yeah,
how did the Happy Monday? Because I know the Happy Mondays is really one of the events that the people talk the most about the Rockers Bar, aside from the jam sessions. How did this idea of the Happy Monday started, and how did it started?
um, initially it was called Cheap Mondays. It was a happy hour, like it is still. The thing is, at some point, I had at the beginning, so we had a smaller staff, and there was a comedian waitress working for us. Her name was Melissa. She was working for us, and Mondays were working quite good. But I had a deal with her whenever she had a theater show that she would leave the bar, and he would take. She was a professional comedian as well, and so she had a theater show to prepare to play, and then she would leave the bar for a month or two. And then, so when she left, we hired Lorraine. Lorraine, she used to work at the elevator, and later on, she opened her own bar, Styler. So we had
Yes,
Lorraine.
I know.
Yeah. we had-
And she also had a bar in Dudelange, no?
No, that's her best friend called Tammy. She has a.
Okay,
She
okay.
used to work for us as well. Then we had Lorraine working with us, and then Melissa came back, and I told them I want to keep you both, but we don't have enough work. So please find anything, find an idea. I need you both, for example, to work together on Mondays. And so Mondays aren't bad, but they need to be better in order to have you both working. And they came up with the idea of doing a cheap Monday. They started, so I think Lorraine's brother started DJing and Lorraine's husband, they were DJing together. They started doing some snacks, etc. And all of a sudden, Mondays were popular. And then a year or two later, those two weren't working at ROCAS anymore. And I wanted to continue the concept, but transformed it a bit into my way. So I changed the name as well. So from Cheap Monday became Happy Monday. And 10 years later, it was still a success until COVID. Yeah, so we had
Ah,
a decade of phenomenal Mondays. We had more people on Mondays than on Saturday nights, for example.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember. It was like, where do we go to have a drink? Oh, let's go to the Happy Monday.
yeah.
It
Well,
was
many bars were closed
automatic.
on Mondays. Many bars were closed
Yeah,
in the city, and yeah, this was really crazy popular. It was 200 people, 200 people sitting on the pavement, on the floor outside. This was pretty beautiful. Yeah,
yeah. In the summer, it's
yeah.
great.
It's the only event that I didn't manage to get back since COVID. We had a decade of great Mondays, and then COVID happened, bars closed, etc. And then when COVID was finished, we tried to get it back. we still do officially Happy Mondays, huh? But that vibe never came back, and it's 5 years now. So we gotta accept that that's not happening again. And this is why I mentioned before, it's different now. So what we're trying now is live music on Mondays. So every Monday now we have live music. Got a new concept that Katya started with Gregorio. Uh, the open mic nights, and they now are hosted by Thomas Lenz, and the next one is gonna no the last one was organized by Ethan Carey, but Emily Bluish will be replacing him. And we got another night also on Mondays called Today Unplugged, which happens in collaboration with the RTL Today Radio.
Oh, great.
It's we've had some nice shows so far. Yeah. So now we can say there's live music every Monday. So if it's Today Radio, Today Unplugged, or the open mic. And yeah, we got live music every Thursdays with the jam sessions and other gigs now and then.
Yeah, and you also I said this when I had the interview with Lucas, because I announced already the interview of today, and I also said that I think that the best DJs from Luxembourg already put music at the ROCAS bar.
There's a lot of them that started at ROCAS as well. As you said, they play the biggest clubs now, but they started here. Yeah.
You had really all the best DJs at your place. You still have sometimes Patrick Pierrard.
Double P. Yeah.
Double P. He's great.
I'm a fan since 2001. I had to look into my emails or text messages. In 2001, I texted him because he was having a radio show on Radio Ara back then, and during his set, he was like, "If you want this set to be sent to you home," because he was sending CDs, text me on this message. Text me at this number. So 2001, I sent him a message with my home address, and I got a CD from him. So since 2001, I'm listening to Double P. Yeah,
he's good, and also Patrick Paltau, who did a lot of duos with him.
Mm-hmm. And they used to be Club Zone together.
Yes, that was the name of the show at Radio Ara too. It was every Saturday evening, I think.
Yeah. They did that for I don't know, 20 years. I don't remember how many years.
Yeah, they stopped when I was working there.
Say that again.
They stopped when I was working at the radio, and it was replaced by other DJs.
Yeah.
But I remember that Celine received the files too. Or sometimes they also did live really at the radio, so it was really nice. And I think you also have had Sun Glitters.
Yes, Victor. Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yes.
I'm such a fan of this guy.
I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah.
And he's also
before Sun Glitters, he used to be Sugar Cane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He talked about it. You know, Victor was the first musician I interviewed from all the musicians I interviewed when I started at the radio. He was our first guest. And I remember that he talked about sugarcane, of course. And
the very last concert of Sugarcane was at ROCAS.
You see?
Yeah. Actually, he told me because he had Sugarcane was a long time, long period project. But at the end of Sugarcane, he was having a duo with Deborah Lennon.
Yeah.
Great singer here. But she had quit the project back then. And he had that concert still planned at ROCAS. So that was the one concert without her. And so he took that opportunity to test his new sound. So it was still a sugarcane concert, but with already the sound of sun glitters. So he tested that new sound with the audience he had there, and that was great. It was a great show. Everybody told him, "This is great. This is even better than what you were doing before." And like, okay, then I'll keep on like that. And then sun glitters got official.
You know, this guy traveled. He played in every
He's more famous
places in the
outside of
world.
Luxembourg than in Luxembourg.
He played in Japan. He
Yeah,
played in everywhere in the world.
the
This
whole planet.
guy is in the whole planet. He
In
played
China,
everywhere. In China, he played every. What he does is so special. It's really his own sound. Nobody does what he does.
no,
You know.
internationally there are other projects like him. There's
Yeah,
a
but when he started, it was like revolutionary. You know, you didn't have so many people doing what he was doing, and
they were
um,
internationally they were already. He didn't invent it, but he got quickly within the elite in the world. This is why he was touring everywhere. He got quickly to that level. Yeah.
yeah, and I hope I will interview him again for this podcast. Who knows? I would be so glad to speak with him again. I didn't have news about him already since such a long time. I know he also did a great openings for great musicians and great DJs too. I don't know if he did the opening of Noiserf,
Okay.
this musician from Portugal who does also sounds with everything. He has a very special style. He's a singer-songwriter from here,
He had
and
a
he
show
went.
once. He had a show once in a swimming pool. This
Yeah,
reminded me at the Baranstalt. It's that swimming pool in front of ROCAS. It was a once in a lifetime show because Baranstalt never ever had live music before, and they never did it afterwards. And this is like 2012 or 13. So there was
that can be.
I remember the installation. He's having that live show, and we were swimming, swimming there, listening to the music. And the after party was at Rockcast. And okay, everybody to Rockcast now. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, yeah, that was one of the points I also wanted to come to is the after parties. The
Mm.
Rockers is very known for the after parties too, you know, like sometimes, and also for people after the gigs when they want to have a drink, they go at the Rockers because they know it's open, they know there are always people they can meet, and or they can dance a little bit because you have always DJs on in the weekends for the people who like to dance with techno, with house. So it's also what is very good with Rockers because you have every music style at your bar. So you have
We
folk
don't have
music.
polka.
You never know.
Yeah.
That can happen.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, so we have two rooms, and there's the bar, and then there's the little
The
venue
upstairs.
upstairs. Everything can happen upstairs.
Yeah, of course. And
Downstairs, I have to be more selective, but upstairs, it's a venue, so any event is welcome.
yeah,
Mm.
of course. I already heard at your place. I heard rock a lot. I heard blues. I heard jazz. I heard DJs, techno house. I heard funk. Funk.
Pop.
I heard a lot of funk at the Rockers. I think the best funk songs I discovered were at the Rockers place. And
As a
and
DJ, huh? But not as bands then, huh?
yes, with DJs, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With you
I might
sometimes
have been
also
one of those
putting,
DJs because I love
yeah,
soul and
yeah.
funk music. Yeah.
You and also Jose Moreira.
Mm-hmm. Putas Groove.
uh, Put us groove, yeah, and yeah. So you have really every music style at your, and now with the open mics and the unplugged, you also have acoustic music and folk. I know that we organized also, I don't know if it was one open mic or two open mics with the Groom Club upstairs at the Rocas too.
Yeah, there was one or two. I wish there was more. You guys needed a bigger venue, but I wish there would have been more,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I liked that idea.
It was, since the start of the Groom Club open mics, it was always our struggle. It was to find the right place for the.
Well,
We changed
initially
so
you
many
wanted to be
places.
in Grund.
Yes, we
Yeah,
wanted to be in Grund.
I
That
think
was
the first
for
couple of
sure.
years there was in Grund. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and the logical way would be to be at the Liquid Bar because all the Groom Club also started at the Liquid Bar.
Yeah,
But because GM was not there anymore, we went
yeah,
to the Up
and
Down.
and Patrick. Yeah,
We went to the Up Down. That was the first venue. That's where there is
they
where
have a
I met.
nice venue downstairs. Yeah,
I didn't go there since a long time. I don't know if they changed something or so, but I met your barman there. He was working there, George.
George. Yeah, yeah,
He was working at the Up Down.
yeah.
And then we went to we also went to Kopstal. We were also at the Irish pub. We were at the Rockall Cafe. We did some at the Rockall Cafe. We
Okay.
did
That's
some,
bigger.
yeah. And the last venue before I came to Portugal was the Culture Bar in Clausen. So
Okay.
it was really the last venue we had for the open mics.
It's a shame you didn't
Uh,
do more at Rocas, because I enjoyed that thing.
yeah, I think it was really because of the space. So the Rockas always supporting musicians. I know that you support really the musicians. A lot of people also
And
release
they support us.
albums.
Mm.
A lot of
Well,
people released their first album at the Rockas, like John Meehan, for example,
oh
who
yeah,
I interviewed too, and he released his album like 2 weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks
2 weeks
ago.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, at your place. I know Raven Song
it was
with
packed.
Calvin was also released the album at your place. I was managing them at the time.
Okay.
A lot of people did a release at the Rockers Bar too.
Mm.
And yeah, and John was so glad to present his album at your place, and he was playing with great music.
He was very organized as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
John is,
advertised it
yeah,
really well, and yeah, that was a
and
pleasure.
his music is great.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the Tom Hack, he had
Mike is actually
Benoit
having a drink right
Martini.
now here. I just saw him from down the window. Yeah, he's having a drink there.
Tom Hack.
Yeah,
So say hello for him, for me to him when we finish the interview.
yeah.
And uh, which was the event that you? I also wanted to say that you also have a stage, a special stage for the Fête de la Musique and for the National Day,
Yeah.
Fête Nationale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something
You
we've been doing for several years now, thanks to the city of Luxembourg. We co-organize with them. So on Fête de la Musique, this year it's the 13th. It's Friday, 13th of June. We have a special blues program. We're gonna have Fred Barreto with Remo Cavallini. They are starting a project together. Actually, I think it's called Cavallini and Barreto. Don't remember the third word. It's a joint of them.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh my God, this is huge.
yeah.
The
It
two best blues players from Luxembourg
the
playing
two best
together.
blues guitarists of Luxembourg. Well, with Kid. Okay, let's not.
Yes, and Steve Risher, he's also good.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, two. They are two legends. They are playing together. They're starting a new project. Apparently, they are writing songs, and there'll probably be an album just before that, or right after that. We will be having Heavy Petrol, Lata,
Right.
yeah, Lata Gouveia.
Ah, my
Yeah,
brother.
yes, yeah. I'm happy. It's the first time I have him professionally hired. Actually, yeah. He
He
came
comes
to
with the band.
sorry, yeah, he
He
comes with
comes
the
with the
band.
band.
Yes, comes with the band. I'm forgetting one name, and I shouldn't. Hmm. Ah, yeah, Ferocious Few
Oh, Francisco.
and Eve. Yeah,
Eve.
they will be finishing the act. So that's a cool program. And in addition to that, the city of Luxembourg asked me to if it was okay to have Bluebird ASBL programming before my schedule, and so I think there's going to be the Blues School of Differdange. They will be performing in the afternoon. I thought it was great to have them, and then comes Lata, then comes Heavy Petrol, and Cavallini and Barreto Syndicate, I think. Yeah, but it was a temporary name. Yeah. Actually, I remember Fred Barreto told me, "Don't tell anyone this name. It's a temporary name." I just said something.
Okay, so forget the name. Okay,
Yeah,
so this
and then there's
it
National Day
will
the
be
week
a
after.
huge. You will have all my best friends there. You will have Lata. You will have Steve. They are like family for me. You know,
Oh yeah.
really. Yeah.
Right, so
I
you
work.
know when to fly to Luxembourg.
Yeah, actually, I put the holiday for the National Day week, but perhaps I will change that and come
And come the
before.
week before.
Yeah, because Heavy Petrol, I worked with them. I also replaced one time or two times Woody when he couldn't play with it, sing with them, and I was really implicated in with that band, and I also managed was manager of the band for a time. And Steve is one of the musicians who I worked the most, and it's my favorite. It's I don't say that he's the best, but he's one of the best for me, and he's the my favorite guitarist. If I go to Luxembourg, I have to choose a guitarist to work with. It's the first name that comes to my mind. It's Steve Risher. You know, is
Ah,
really
yeah.
like family for me. And Lata, yes, Lata is my mentor. He learned me everything I know about the
Hmm.
music industry, and about everything. So I owe him a lot. I could never be the person I am today if it was not because of Lata. So he's really my brother. He has just the other parents, but he's my brother for sure. I'm very grateful that he that God put him in my life, you know. So
Cool.
I'm
That
very
sounds really
happy
cool.
that. And Fred, yeah, Fred is great.
Yeah.
Fred is great. What I like with Fred is he's so humble, and he supports a lot of the newcomers and young musicians. They had also this project with the kids, with the rock
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Most of them
And
were his students. There was a nice,
yeah,
actually a couple of weeks ago we spoke about it. Like, oh, that was such a cool thing. And he was like,
yeah.
yeah, I should do that again. Yeah, should, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. And that's what I admire with him, because he's a huge guitarist. Really, really, this guy is really a huge guitarist, and
Imagine
he's
him
humble.
and Remo together.
Oh my God. Don't tell me that. I have to come to see
Ac-
that.
Actually, 2 months ago, Fred was having a concert in Differdange with his band, the Odd Blues Reunion, and they asked Remo as a guest. And so Remo joined them, and the magic happened. They played those two guitars played together, and we could see they had fun. They really had fun.
My God.
That's exactly when I asked them, "Hey, you guys need to get together, get a project together, and you play on my stage for Fête de la Musique." And they said, "Yes, hell yes." Mm.
My God, it's like having Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix playing together. It's a little bit like that.
You know what? You're not even exaggerating.
Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
might be laughing now, but no, that it is.
Yes.
It is. I mean, Rolling Stone magazine wrote about Fred Barretto's guitar skills, and a lot of people in Luxembourg can't even decide who's better, Remo or Fred, because they are both amazing.
They are both amazing. They have a different style.
Yeah, but the
They
same level.
are, yeah, they have a different style in the same level. That's for sure. And and yeah, I understand. And Fred Barretto, we had the interview with Lucas Ferraz 2 weeks ago. He was part of the Porn Queen band
Yeah,
with Lucas, and they did first acts and tour with Slash. So yeah, of course,
yeah.
if they
In
were not
Brazil, in
into,
front of 80,000 people, I think, or something like
oh,
that.
and
Yeah.
Fred also played here at blues festivals here in Portugal with Archie Lee Hooker.
Uh-huh.
So I
Yeah,
went to see them in Braga.
yeah,
It was
okay.
great. And
Well,
I jammed
Braga
with
is the
them.
blues city of Portugal. I wish there was
Yeah.
more blues in Portugal, huh? Because I go to
Yeah.
Porto or Lisbon and they say, this is a club, a jazz and blues club. You go there, there's only jazz.
Only jazz.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
100% jazz. It's not like 99% jazz, 1% blues. No, it's 100% jazz happening
Here in Porto, you have the Wolfram Minman. Wolfram Minman is actually the same here for the people as René Cavallini is for us.
there. All
He's
right.
the father of
Bring
the
him to
blues.
Luxembourg.
Oh, he would be so glad. He lived a long
Tell
time in
tell
Germany.
Buddha to bring him with him because Buddha comes every year to Luxembourg or every second
Yeah,
year.
and his son is playing with Buddha. So
Ah,
Wolfram Minman's son, Carl Minman, is the bassist of the Buddha Power Blues.
okay. Yeah.
So Carl was born in Germany because his father lived for a long time in Germany, and here in Portugal. So Rui Veloso started with that guy.
All right.
Before Rui Veloso was
That's the
uh,
Portugal's Eric Clapton.
yeah, before Rui Veloso was Rui Veloso, he was Wolfram Minman's guitarist. So, and Wolfram had a birthday anniversary for a career anniversary last year, and I
Yeah.
went to see the concert, and he invited Rui to play with him the guitar, and you had to see he has such a huge respect for this man that he was really there like a guitarist. He was not there like Rui Veloso, the famous guy everybody knows, and with no, he was there like the guitarist of Wolfram Minman, and every musician has such a huge respect for that man. He has a certain age also, like René. I told you he's the René Cavallini from
Yeah.
here, from the north. And yeah, so he's the most famous guy in the blues scene. And then you have Antonio Monteferro, who is also playing guitar for Wolfram, and he has his solo projects too. And you have Peter Storm and the Blues Society. They were at the European Blues Challenge representing Portugal.
Hmm.
And Kiko and the Blues Refugees. Carl Minman also plays there, and Kiko is the blues singer. It's my favorite blues
Really?
singer here. Yeah,
Well,
he's really amazing.
you have I don't know if it's a new, but there's a fantastic blues singer now living in Portugal that was for a time not far from Luxembourg. Do you remember Puxley?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
He lives in
He's
Braga
living
now.
in
Huh?
Braga.
He might be the best blues singer in around. No, what a voice!
Yeah,
Hmm?
he's good. He played a long time with Tommy Leonard.
Yeah, and they have a record together that was recorded in Braga at
Yeah.
Buddha's studio, having me as backing vocals.
Moby Dick Records.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
at Moby Dick Records. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, you got my
yeah.
name on the record as well. Huh? Back vocals, David Rocas.
Yeah. Great. You see, we have a blues scene here, but it's not very you don't have so many blues listeners
No,
or blues followers as in Luxembourg. In
yeah.
Luxembourg,
Oh,
the blues
yeah.
culture is
Hmm.
bigger than here.
Yeah.
Here you have more people listening to jazz than to blues for sure. But yeah, so
Well, there's
that's
the Portuguese blues as well, huh? Fado.
yeah,
Fado is the
yeah.
Portuguese blues.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And everybody is asking me, why don't you sing fado? Because everybody does this here in Portugal. I will not do what everybody is already doing. I always say, if I have to sing something like that, I sing blues because that's what I did in Luxembourg, you know.
Cool.
But yeah, but you're right. I remember when I was at the blues school in Differdange.
Yeah.
And I was 1 year there, and we talked a little bit about the blues history, and so, and I said blues is like fado, and fado is like blues. It was created from the people or by the people to when they wanted to talk about their histories, their pains, their and also people who sang during the job because they had hard jobs and so and you have to sing it with the same feeling. You sing the fado with the same feeling as you sing a blues. If you don't sing it with feeling,
Yeah.
you yeah, it's not possible to interpret rules.
True.
Uh, so, but coming back to Rocas, to the Rocas bar, um, what is the musical event that marked you the most from all the events you had at your place? The best memory?
Probably the second anniversary of Rocas. We had concerts and uh, Baby Oil played, and I think it was the last concert of Baby Oil before his accident, and many other I mean, several other bands played as well, and it was such a fantastic party. The vibe was amazing, and yeah. Now, one of the best concerts I've ever seen happens to be in my bar. That's cool. It was by the Spanish band Tundra.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Well, in Luxembourg, well, in Spain they are so big that they sell more. They sold more records than Madonna did in Spain. In Luxembourg, nobody knows them, so there was 40 people in the room for such a gigantic band, and it was such a great show that Tundra wanted to come back to Rocas, and they did. They did, and the next time they were on tour, they were already bigger. They could have played in Rotonde or in Cultuurfabriek, but they wanted to play Rocas because they had so much fun the previous time, and they gave Rocas a good date because they came on the weekend. Usually, bands like that are touring in Europe. They spend weekends in Paris or in Berlin or stuff like that. The big dates are for the big cities, and then Luxembourg is in between. But they gave a Friday night to ROCAS. This is how much they liked it being here, and that was cool. Yeah, it's something that stays. And then there's other bands like Appaloosa. Appaloosa is an Italian experimental band, and they came several years. And I remember this is not musical, but this is a little moment in the backstage. And so Appaloosa were playing and Heartbeat Parade, Luxembourgish band that was famous here back then. They said, David, we're coming to Rocas, okay, but we want to eat well. So so I ordered a whole laiton.
Of course, Portuguese,
yeah.
Portuguese food.
So the Luxembourgers and the Italians, they never saw a laiton, and they were amazed to see that pork, that piglet on the table. And I have pictures of how everybody was just eating it, and there was a fun moment.
Great.
Yeah, and super dogs everywhere. So the backstage party was was even funnier than the show itself.
Of course, Portuguese food, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David. It was so fun. It was. I'm so happy that we had this chat, and I'm very, very honored that we could talk about the ROCAS Bar and to discover this special place to the people, because it's not just a bar. It's more than a bar. You do more than just the serving drinks to the people, and you contribute for the culture in Luxembourg, and you can be you and your team, you can all be proud of it. And is there something that I forgot to ask, or that you want to add, or something important you want to say to the people?
Well, then we'll do another interview at that time.
Okay.
Happily. Thank you very much. This was really fun.
Thank you too. I wish all the best for the future of the ROCAS Bar. I wish that you continue to organize more musical events and support more musicians. I am sure the Fête de la Musique will be so great with this program. My God, yeah, it will be. This will be the best stage in the city, guys. You really have. It's on the 13th of June.
Yeah.
The 13th of June, you all have to go to support these guys, these great musicians. You will have the best singer-songwriter of the country, Lata Gouveia. It's not because he's my best friend, but he's really, he gave singer-songwriters workshops too. He created the Groom Club Singer-Songwriters Luxembourg. Really, if you like to hear singer-songwriter stuff and also rock and roll, the band is great, with Paul on the guitar, with Jeff Hare on the drums. I don't know if Daniela will be on the bass. Yes, so, and the Heavy Petrol, one of the most known blues bands also from Luxembourg. They are always evolving. They have an amazing singer. Woody is a machine. Woody is really special. What he does, no other singer in Luxembourg is like Woody. You will have two of the best blues guitarists of the country playing together, Fred Barreto and Remo Cavarini. These guys are two legends. You cannot miss that for anything. And Ferocious Few, he will make you dance, guys. This guy has an energy. I don't know where he goes to pick all these electricities he has in him, but this guy has such a great energy. So on the 13th of June, this stage will be for sure my favorite stage, the best stage in the whole city.
Are you coming?
I hope I will see with my job if I can find the solution, because with a program like that, oh my God, yes, I will really try to be there. But yeah, you know, I have to, because I cannot still cannot do a living from this podcast and from my music. I have to have a job aside, and I have to see with my job if I can. If I can change my holiday, or if I can work from there. So I will try. I will try my best. I will try my best. And perhaps I will do a surprise to all my friends and come to support you all of you guys, the bands, and also you, the place,
Thank you.
and the Fête de la Musique. That is for me one of the most important periods in Luxembourg. Fête de la Musique and Fête Nationale.
It's an event that doesn't exist in Portugal yet, does it? Festival
No,
Musica.
no.
That's such a
You have it in France. I think in
well.
Belgium
The
they
French
also,
minister invented it, Jacques Lang,
yeah, of
and
course,
it was such a great idea that Luxembourg started it and Belgium started it, and
yeah.
there's I
Here they don't
think
even
there's
know
other
about this.
countries. At
They
some
don't
point
even
they
know
will.
about
At
this.
some point they will start somewhere in Portugal. They
I
should.
don't know.
Otherwise,
You
you
know,
should do it.
you know why? Because here at that period you have Saint João. So for the people
São
is
João
more
in Porto.
important
Is São João
the
important in Lisbon?
in Porto.
Yeah, but is São João important in Lisbon? No.
Oh yeah, they
Well, they have
like
Santo Antonio, but São João is in Porto and it's on the 23rd.
yeah.
You know, if you go like that, here in Luxembourg you have the National Day, yeah.
Yeah, of course, because it's because of the Saint Jean
Yeah,
also,
it's the
and
same
that's
day, yeah. And
yeah.
that doesn't stop Luxembourg from having Fête de la Musique.
Yeah, I don't know why, but when I talk about Fête de la Musique here in Portugal, they don't know really well about that.
No,
For
because it's
them,
a new thing. It's a thing that started 25 years ago in France, I think.
yeah,
It was great idea
and
by Jacques Lang.
yeah, who is still alive?
Yeah,
This
he was the
yeah,
French cultural minister back then.
yeah, and yeah. So here, Saint João here is really like is more important for the Porto people than the National Day.
Yes.
you can you cannot
So the
imagine.
National Day in
It's
Portugal is not
crazy.
really celebrated.
It's
It's just
crazy here.
politics, is it?
What the Saint João?
The National Day in
Ah,
Portugal.
the National Day.
Yeah.
The National Day.
The holiday, and then there's a military parade. It's more of a
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a speech by by the president or the prime
yeah,
minister. But I think
yeah.
the cities,
They,
the town
yeah,
themselves, they celebrate the saints. So that's
yeah.
São João in the
Yeah.
north, Santo
Santo
Antonio
Antonio in
in
Lisbon.
Lisbon, and there's other
São
saints
Pedro.
elsewhere. San
São
Pedro. Yeah.
Pedro, this is in more down Vila de Conde, Povo de Varzim.
Okay.
The São Pedro is really important in Povo de Varzim, for example.
Okay.
It's really their party, Minho, and yeah, they celebrate more the saints here. Thank you so much, David. I
Thank
hope
you.
we see us very soon. Before I close the video, thank you to all the people who listened to this interview until the end, all the people who support the podcast. Don't forget, the best way to support the podcast, to help the podcast, is to put a like on the videos, to subscribe to the channel, to share the videos, to follow the pages. I don't have an Instagram page for the podcast itself anymore, but I post everything on my professional page, is Jessica Lobo Musica, Jessica Lobo Music, and And you can follow everything about the podcast. You can also follow everything about my musical activity too. And I have a Facebook page of the podcast where I also share news, a little bit like a magazine. Like I share releases, I share events, I share some important news that come out. I also share stuff from music associations, or musical organizations who needs help, for example, from people or so. So I feed the Jessica Music Talkpod Facebook page also with news, not only with the interviews. Don't For the people who prefer to listen to the interview instead of watching the video, the audio version is on Spotify, and I am working on putting it on Apple Music too. So you can also have the audio version. And yes, and also for the musicians and for the organizations, or for the people who will be interviewed for the Music and More edition, the best way also to help them is to follow them. I will put all the links and everything about the ROCAS bar here in the description of the interview, so you can follow all the news about the ROCAS. You can also, if you are not from Luxembourg, if you go to Luxembourg, go there and have a drink. And they have a beautiful terrace. So so I will put everything about the ROCAS here in the description of the video. And for all the people who want to give a little donation, don't forget I also have the PayPal Me, the Buy Me a Coffee, and the TP, and the links are also here. Thank you all for your support. Thank you to David, and I see you next week and the next times for more news and more interviews. Bye.